One of the most talked about bows in 2025, the Prime Forum. Before we get started today, I just want to say a special shout out to the companies who make this show possible. XOP Gear, who's making really great tree stands and harnesses and saddles, tree climbing sticks. They got pretty much everything you need to get up in the air as a bow hunter and get it done. I want to thank Trophy Ridge, who help us bring all the rest you see in this show all the time. Of course, the Whisker Biscuit, what I consider king, because we're always using it here on the show, of course. But Trophy Ridge is also giving you 20% off. If you need it, go ahead and take it. Use code BHP2025. Take 20% off on their website today. You won't be disappointed, and it'll help hook you up. I also want to say a special shout out to Archery, who's making the Edge 2 and the Edge 2 Pro cameras, who are helping you get in the field and know when to get in the field with their amazing app, because it's going to give you information about the deer movement. It is really, really cool. The Prime Forum has to be one of the most talked about bows in 2025, and that is because the bow is a mixture of aluminum and carbon. Something we've never seen before in this setup. We've never seen aluminum and then have parts of carbon built into the bow. This bow has 3 aluminum pieces. We have the lower riser, the center riser, and the upper riser. And we have these beautiful carbon rods that are inside here intertwined with the riser. These are actually pretty thick. They're a lot thicker than people think. There is a pinhole on the backside here. It's a very small hole, it goes through there. So these are very strong carbon rods. And so we have 4 of them here. But what does this do? And Prime likes to talk about this as a pure structural concept that's gonna give you a lot of strength, a lot of durability. It's gonna lighten the bow up slightly. I'm sure we're gonna see these go longer and then even shorter, and give the archer ability to have different axles over time. This bow does have a smaller pocket than we've seen on the previous models. Here is the Rev X from last year. You can see it's smaller. All right, so what they're calling this concept with these carbon rods is AST, Advanced Structural Technology. So in the new form, the carbon is bonded with the aluminum using a process called X-Weld by Prime. It's something that they've created and are using, but again, it brings strength and durability to the bow. All right, let's talk about the specs of the form real quick. This is a 34-inch axle bow weighing in around 4.1 pounds. So again, getting that carbon mixed with aluminum is going to take off some weight, especially at that 34-inch mark, which is really good because the 34-inch bow are usually a little more stable, a little more forgiving, and give you very accurate shooting. IBO speeds of up to 336 feet per second. Brace height is 6.25 inches. Draw lengths can go 26.5 to 30.5 inches. Draw weights are 40 to 80 pounds. Again, the form brings the core cam system, providing super powerful, relaxing draw type cam system. Gotta love the core system. If you haven't tried it, you're gonna love this one. Center grip riser technology. Draw lengths adjustment up to 1/4 inch shorter. Also gives you the adjustable mod draw stops, allows adjustment of holding the weight down to 75%. Prime also does give you a little bit of a benefit with free strings for life on this model, so that's a pretty cool idea. Check that out when you get a second. It's just an added bonus. This bow does feature the quick tune technology. Again, little clips help push this back and forth on both sides. It makes it very quick for the dealer to do that for you. Or if you need to do it yourself. Prime also has this little piece on the end. A lot of people don't see this or notice it, but this piece is actually here so you can grab on with your limb-driven system. They have one on all ends here, so it gives you a lot of different options of where you want to put that. You can get this bow for around $1,600 at your local shop. It is a wonderful looking bow, and again, metal, aluminum. It's right between carbon and aluminum pricing. Right now you have aluminum upwards of $1,450. This is around $1,600, and then carbon starts around $1,700 all the way up to $2,100. All right, guys, we just did the speed test. 2970. You saw 350, 450, 550, 650. I couldn't do. I broke the arrow last time. Sorry. Haven't replaced it yet. Now we're going to take the normal shots. We brought it down to somewhere around 60. Let's see how it goes. I just want to point out this bow is extremely accurate. I literally have not sighted it in, and I put the top pin in the middle, and I've hit all 3 in the middle so far. I am stacking them. And this is me shooting, guys. This isn't like some sort of good shooter. I mean, that's pretty good for literally just shooting. I understand it's not far or anything, but man, that's pretty sweet. one-handed. All right, guys, there it is, the Prime Forum. This thing is absolutely lights out. I have really enjoyed shooting this today. I have to say this is gonna be one of my top 3, maybe top 5 bows of the year. It shoots so good. Now, I know some of you guys have seen other reviews done on this bow and they weren't so nice with the bow, but I have to disagree. I think this bow is very well done. I think it's very thought out. I think bringing in AST was a smart move. It's something different. We need to reward these companies for innovating, right? I mean, we can't sit here and say, oh, that's a silly idea. It's not a silly idea. It's actually a very great idea. And then you see some different things from different brands on limbs. Of course, we've seen that and different things, but this is much different than I ever expected. And I don't think I could have ever called anything like this.
I don't think anybody could. I mean, you know, Prime, we've always kind of pushed the limits on what we feel can make a better shooting bow. Center grip, the swerve, started with the parallel cam, now to the, which was the inline, now to the core cam where the strings line up. We've always pushed the limit on making sure we have the most accurate bow out there. Well, carbon has been the next thing the industry's kind of really been pushing at over the last couple of years. But the problem with carbon is one, the amount of inconsistency from riser to riser to riser. One, being American made. A lot of people don't know a lot of the risers out there are not made in America when it comes to carbon. But it's just, you know, being able to have a great mating surface for your high-end rest, your sights, things like that. So what we've been able to do is actually take what we're really good at, which is a center grip bow, and figure out how to blend that with carbon in the right way. So we're calling it AST, which is Advanced Structure Technology, which will kind of open us up for the future, but right now it's going to be an aluminum center core of the bow, carbon tubes that are American-made carbon tubes, overbuilt, really strong, with a mating surface of another aluminum section of the riser that meets to your pockets where your screws, your limbs, everything's going to be tied to it. So
I even took advantage of the lightness of this 4.1 pounds by adding up to what is, I think we're at 4.3, 4.4, adding a trophy ridge sight and rest that are super lightweight. So now I still have a very lightweight 34-inch rig, which I feel is amazing. This bow is a lights out shooter. You're gonna love this bow, I'm telling you guys. Gotta get to your shop and shoot this bow from Prime. Don't listen to the bad reviews or the people talk about it's a gimmick. It's not. This thing feels wonderful. Is it worth the money? In my opinion, absolutely. You have 3 different machine pieces. You have all this carbon rod. This is gonna change the game of archery. This is something different and new, and I guarantee you, the other companies are thinking, why didn't I think of that? For sure. Prime really stepped outside this year and did something really cool. So check out the Prime, go to their website, check it out. I think you're gonna love this bow. Again, this is definitely one of my favorites this year. I love what they did with this, and I think it's absolutely amazing. And I think you will too. We'll see you next time right here on BowHunter Planet.